In the dead of night, a Chicago mall guard uncovers a chilling secret. A hidden wallet and bracelet, etched with names of twins vanished 7 years ago. What lies buried under the concrete? A twisted killer's trail, or something darker? This fictional tale, inspired by real cases, unravels a heart-pounding mystery for education and thrills. Stick around to the end for shocking twists. If you love suspense, hit that subscribe button, like, comment your theories, and share this video to keep the mystery alive. Trust us, you won't guess what's coming next in this eerie saga. Jack Thompson stumbled through the shadowy basement of Millennium Mall, the heart of downtown Chicago, his flashlight slicing through the damp, musty air. His boot caught a loose brick, dislodging it with a gritty scrape that echoed like a whisper from the grave. Kneeling, he pried it free, revealing a grimy plastic bundle hidden in the wall's dark embrace. Heart-hammering, Jack unwrapped it, uncovering a worn leather wallet and a silver bracelet, both etched with names, Jessica Harper and Joshua Harper. His breath hitched. These belonged to the Harper twins, vanished during Christmas shopping 7 years ago, in 1998. Their father, real estate mogul William Harper, had plastered Chicago with a $500,000 reward. Searches, news frenzy, nothing. The case froze colder than a January blizzard. God almighty, Jack muttered, his voice swallowed by the eerie silence. They never left this place. His hand shook as he radioed the cops, pulse racing like a runaway train. Detective Sarah Lee rolled in 30 minutes later, her boots echoing on the concrete. Forensics swarmed behind, their portable lights buzzing like angry wasps. She crouched beside Jack, gloved hands inspecting the wallet, driver's licenses, $43 cash, a Radio Shack receipt stamped 3:47 p.m. December 12, 1998. You touch anything else? Sarah asked, her voice sharp, eyes scanning the scene like a hawk. Just saw shadows, Jack stammered, wiping sweat despite the chill. Heard weird whispers, like voices trapped in the walls. Sarah's gut twisted. Last night, she dreamed of kids sobbing in endless darkness, a chilling premonition that clung like fog. She shook it off, focusing on the evidence. The receipt proved the twins were here late afternoon, contradicting witnesses who swore they'd seen them exit the north doors by 5. The Harpers had hit the mall around 2 p.m. for holiday gifts, planning dinner with friends at 7. They never showed. Their car sat in the lot overnight, keys gone, no struggle. Security tapes caught them entering, but never leaving. The old theory they slipped out a blind spot crumbled with this find. This changes everything, Sarah told her partner, her voice low but electric. Someone kept them here. The wallet's pristine state, wrapped tight in plastic, screamed deliberate concealment. Her mind churned with grim possibilities. Abduction, murder, cover-up. She ordered ground-penetrating radar, her tone urgent. We're tearing this basement apart. Technicians hauled in equipment, the machine's hum filling the stale air. As they scanned, a tech called out, voice tight, Detective, we've got something rectangular, about 6 feet long, buried under the concrete. Sarah's heart lurched. The mall's dark heart was about to spill its secrets, and she braced for the horror waiting below. Sarah Lee navigated the foggy dawn, her sedan cutting through the 20-mile stretch to William Harper's lakefront mansion on Lake Michigan's edge. The iron gates groaned open, revealing a sprawling estate that reeked of wealth and sorrow. Harper met her at the door, his bathrobe wrinkled, gray hair a mess, eyes hollow from 7 years of unanswered questions. At 58, grief had carved him older, his face a map of loss. Detective, he croaked, ushering her into a study lined with photos of Jessica and Joshua, frozen in happier times. What did you find? Don't sugarcoat it. Sarah showed him the evidence photos on her phone, the wallet, the bracelet. These are Jessica's and Joshua's, hidden in the mall's basement. We're digging now. Harper's hands trembled like leaves in a storm. Jessica never left without that wallet. Joshua wore that bracelet every day since high school. He slumped into a leather chair, voice breaking. They were in that mall the whole time? Cops swore they left on their own. Sarah sat opposite, her tone steady but charged. The Radio Shack receipt puts them there at 3:47 p.m. Witnesses were wrong. Something happened inside. Harper stared at the twins' smiling faces in a holiday snapshot. They drove to the mall around 2 p.m. for Christmas shopping. Supposed to meet friends at 7. Never showed. Car found the next morning. No keys, no struggle. I burned millions on searches. Private eyes nothing. His eyes blazed. Someone in that mall knows the truth. We'll unearth it, Mr. Harper. Sarah vowed, though dread coiled in her chest. But brace yourself, it might not be what you hope. Back at the mall by sunrise, jackhammers roared, shattering concrete like brittle bones. Dust choked the air as the crew uncovered 2 skeletons, tangled in a grim embrace. Dr. Elizabeth Grant, forensic pathologist, knelt in the pit, her face ashen under the floodlights. Male and female, early 20s. Severe skull trauma, brutal blows. They fought for at least 20 minutes. She pointed to a rib bone. Look, a word carved here. Help. A desperate plea scratched in their final moments. Sarah's skin prickled, her dream of crying children flashing back. This was planned. Cold. The carved bones screamed intent, a killer's twisted signature. Clues pointed to Frank Morrison, retired security chief, now in Naperville, 15 miles west. His modest home smelled of regret and stale coffee. Morrison answered, hands shaky. Detective? The mall? Over bitter coffee. Sarah pressed him. You ran security during the 2001 renovation. Who hid those items? Morrison paled. Viktor Kuznetsov, assistant manager. Russian mob ties, stealing from stores. He threatened my wife. My kids said they'd vanish like the twins if I talked. His voice cracked. I didn't bury them, but I stayed quiet when he used my brother's crew to seal the basement. Sarah's pulse surged. Why confess now? Guilt's killing me, Morrison whispered. But it's not just the twins. Her phone buzzed. Miami PD reporting a matching case. Emily Carter's jewelry box found in a high school boiler room. Sarah Lee gripped her phone tighter as the Miami detective's voice crackled through. A janitor named Carl Jenkins had uncovered a dusty jewelry box behind a high school boiler room wall during renovations. The inscription read, Emily Carter, Sweet 16, Love, Dad. Emily, the daughter of a Miami CEO, had vanished at her prom 7 years ago in 1999. The box was hers, taken that night. Sarah's mind raced, linking it to the Harpers. Both cases screamed pad on hidden items surfacing after sealed renovations. She booked a flight to Miami, 1,200 miles south, her thoughts swirling in a storm of suspicion. On the plane, she pored over files. Emily's brother Michael Carter called her mid-flight, his voice raw with hope and dread. Em took that box to prom, he said over the static line. It tumbled out from behind the wall. Someone stashed it there. Sarah promised answers but warned, this might unearth more than we bargained for. Touchdown in Miami's humid heat, Sarah met Michael at Coral Reef High School. The boiler room reeked of rust and secret shadows lurking in every corner. Carl Jenkins, the janitor, recounted his find with wide eyes. I tore down the old wall for the new lab, he said. Box fell out, engraved name, hit me like a brick. I remembered the news splashy case back then. Sarah examined the site, her flashlight revealing faint scratches on the wall like desperate pleas. Her premonition dreams intensified now, visions of spectral figures pointing to hidden horrors. This ties to Chicago, she told Michael. Similar concealment after disappearance. Back in Chicago, Sarah coordinated with FBI agent Maria Santos. They compared cases, discovering 15 victims across 4 cities: Chicago, Detroit, Miami, Los Angeles, all vanished during Christmas seasons from 1995 to 1999. All linked to malls where Viktor Kuznetsov had managed operations through his uncle's shady investments. Maria leaned over maps in the war room, her voice urgent. He targeted rich families tortured for kicks. We have 20 potential victims buried under concrete like forgotten trash. Sarah flew to Detroit, 800 miles away, where radar scans at a derelict mall unearthed bones with eerie carvings. Help me in dates matching disappearances. As they dug, Sarah glimpsed a ghostly silhouette vanishing into the walls, whispers echoing like trapped souls. Twists piled on. Viktor did not just kill for cash. He collected trophies, etched bones as cursed charms. Maria said, over coffee, he savored the power. But Sarah received a chilling letter postmarked Russia, stop, or your loved ones vanish like them. Her heart pounded, the hunt turning personal. The letter's threat hung heavy, but a breakthrough loomed. Santos called with intel. Victor's ex in New York spilled about his cold eyes and white nights in Russia. Sarah headed east, but her phone rang again, a whispery voice from an unknown number. You think you know, but there are more shadows. Sarah Lee pieced together Viktor Kuznetsov's trail, like a bloodhound, on a cold scent. Intel from Maria Santos confirmed he had fled to Russia in early 1999, vanishing into St. Petersburg's foggy underbelly, under a false name. Living lavishly off laundered cash, he managed mob money schemes for his uncle's network. Sarah coordinated with Interpol, her desk piled high with redacted files. We nab him at the Prague conference next month, Maria said over a secure line. Czech extradition treaties are solid, but William Harper complicated everything. He called Sarah daily, his voice edged with fury. I am coming to Prague, he declared. I need to face that monster eye to eye. Sarah shot back, Mr. Harper, you will blow the whole op. Let the law handle it. You hire PIs, and he bolts forever. Harper grumbled, but she sensed his resolve cracking only slightly. En route, Sarah detoured to New York, 500 miles east, interviewing Victor's college ex, Anna Petrov, now married in Queens. Victor was always dangerous, Anna whispered over tea, her eyes darting. Cold, calculating eyes mentioned white nights in Russia, like he yearned for that endless dusk. Said he was safe now, untouchable. Sarah pressed. Did he hint at hiding places? Anna shook her head. Just that he changed appearances often, but those eyes never lied. That night, Sarah's dreams turned prophetic again. Ghostly victims pointing toward a grand hotel in Prague's old town, their ethereal fingers guiding her through cobblestone mazes. She woke sweating, the visions too vivid to dismiss. Landing in Prague, she linked with local Inspector Karol Novak. Victor's booked at Grand Hotel Bohemia, 2 miles from Charles Bridge, Novak said. Conference starts Friday. We wait for the warrant. Tension mounted as Harper arrived, despite warnings hiring private eyes who nearly spooked Victor with clumsy tailing. Sarah confronted Harper in a dimly lit cafe. Your guy's almost ruined it, she hissed. He is skittish as a cornered rat. Harper slammed his fist. My kid suffered hours under his hands. I won't sit idle. Surveillance tightened. Victor arrived, looking polished, gray hair, thick glasses, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Sarah's team shadowed him through Prague's winding streets, her heart pounding with each step. In the hotel lobby, she approached, blending as a guest. Victor smirked, recognizing her instantly. You think you know it all, detective? He sneered in accented English. But there are deeper secrets buried than those bones. Sarah's blood boiled. We have confessions evidence across 4 states. You tortured those kids for sport. Victor's mask slipped, his eyes gleaming coldly. The twins cried for Daddy, begged to call home. I told them Daddy wasn't coming. Before Sarah could react, Harper lunged from the shadows, fist flying toward Victor's face, blood about to spill in the marble hall. Sarah Lee lunged forward, grabbing William Harper's arm. Just as his fist connected with Viktor Kuznetsov's jaw, blood sprayed across the marble floor of the Grand Hotel Bohemia. Guests, gasping in horror. Victor staggered back, clutching his face, his cold eyes flashing rage. Security rushed in, but Prague's plainclothes cops Novak had positioned formed a barrier. Novak barked orders in Czech, handcuffs clicking as they restrained Victor. You are under arrest for money laundering and extraditable murders, he declared. Harper roared, his face twisted in fury. You tortured my kids for hours, you bastard. Jessica and Joshua begged and you laughed. Sarah pulled him back, her voice firm but soothing. He is done, Mr. Harper. We got him. Do not ruin the case now. Victor spat blood, smirking through the pain. Your brats were weak, cried like babies. But there are more you know nothing about. Sarah's skin crawled. What more? Victor chuckled as medics treated him. Ask me la ver. At Prague Police Headquarters, Victor sat in an interrogation room, flanked by his Russian attorney, a slick man in a tailored suit. Sarah and Novak faced him across the scarred table, files stacked like accusations. Your client faces 18 counts of murder across 4 states, Sarah said. Confess and maybe avoid the worst. The lawyer leaned in, whispering to Victor, who nodded slowly. I will talk, Victor said, his accent thick. For a deal, life in prison, no death row. Sarah exchanged glances with Novak. Deal if you spill everything. Victor leaned back, eyes distant. It started with theft, small scams in '95. Kids walked in on robberies saw too much. I silenced them. Power felt good. Tortured for fun, kept trophies, bones etched with their please like curse charms. 18 total, buried under concrete in Chicago, Detroit, Miami, Los Angeles. The Harpers were special twins, fought hard, carved help on each other. Sarah's stomach churned. Why the charms? Victor grinned. Souvenirs to remember the screams. Some energy in them made witnesses see ghosts, hear whispers. Like a curse I cast. Twist hit hard. Victor revealed Frank Morrison helped hide an early victim in '96, threatened into silence, but Morrison later gathered evidence to redeem himself. He mailed me anonymous threats, Victor admitted, but I laughed, thought him weak. Sarah pressed. Financial proof. Victor detailed laundered millions through check banks, records in my safe. Novak raided it that night, uncovering ledgers tying him to the mob. As dawn broke, Victor whispered one last bombshell. One victim lives. Kidnapped, not killed. Sold to traffickers in '99. Find her if you can. Sarah's heart raced, the case cracking wider. But as they led Victor away, he laughed softly. You think this ends with me, but the shadows run deeper. Viktor Kuznetsov stood in a Chicago federal courtroom, shackled and defeated, as Judge Patricia Martinez pronounced sentence. The room packed with victims' families from 4 states hummed with tension. You plead guilty to 18 counts of first-degree murder, plus kidnapping, torture, and racketeering, the judge intoned, her voice steel. Life without parole in Colorado, supermax consecutive terms. You will rot in isolation. 23 hours a day. No light, no hope. Victor glanced at the gallery, his eyes meeting William Harper's for a final cold stare. Harper's face, etched with weary triumph, nodded slightly. As guards led Victor away, whispers rippled through the crowd. Justice served, but scars remained. Months later, Millennium Mall was razed, replaced by a serene memorial park in Chicago's bustling heart. 18 trees stood tall, each plaque honoring a victim, Jessica and Joshua Harper's at the center, their branches intertwining like the twins' bond. At the dedication ceremony, under a crisp autumn sky, William Harper addressed the gathered families, his voice steady. My children died horribly, but their case cracked this wide open. They did not perish in vain. They saved countless other families from endless wondering. Sarah Lee stood nearby, her mind drifting to the living victim Victor had taunted about, a young woman sold into trafficking in '99. After relentless searches with Interpol, they found her in an Eastern European shelter, broken but alive. Her testimony sealed Victor's fate, adding layers to his monstrosity. FBI profiler James Patterson, a grizzled expert in serial crimes, offered his take in a post-trial briefing. This case screams how killers hide in plain sight, he said, leaning on his cane. Malls, crowded everyday spots, perfect hunting grounds. Lesson 1: share intel across cities, no silos. 2. Deploy radar and forensics sooner. Could have spared 7 years of hell for these folks. Predators thrive on our blind spots, do not let them. Sarah absorbed his words. The investigation had reshaped her from a beat detective to cold case lead. But warnings lingered for everyone. In America's hectic world, ignore odd signs at public spots at your peril. Spot something off. Report it fast. One tip might save lives. Remember, shadows lurk everywhere, yet justice prevails if we persist. Years on. Sarah visited the park on a snowy December morning, the 18 trees dusted white, standing sentinel. She paused at the Harper's plaque, tracing the names with gloved fingers. Her prophetic dreams still haunted, faint whispers of the dead urging her onward. The case born from a loose brick had exposed a killer's empire, bringing closure to shattered lives. As snow fell softly, Sarah walked away knowing some mysteries endured, but this one had found its light. The victims' legacies lived on in every vigilant eye, every shared story a testament that even the darkest secrets eventually unravel.